Hi there! Our client for the semester was Spin a Story. Spin a Story is a mobile application that allows users to write together. Beyond this, users are also able to read stories published by other users and vote on their favorites. In doing this, Spin a Story offers a unique service to writers that allows them to gain inspiration and try out new ideas with friends. Users can receive feedback for stories they have written. They can also use the app to make something creative with their friends, making Spin a Story an enjoyable way to develop a craft and stay in touch with other people.
We conducted 7 interviews which involved 5 users, a marketing person, and a developer. This helped us to get a clear idea of users' attitudes towards the system. Next, we conducted a survey. We received 37 responses, and this activity helped us figure out our primary user type and their needs. We analyzed not just our system, but also its competitors, including 1 direct competitor, 4 partial competitors, an indirect competitor, and 2 analogous systems. This gave us an idea of how our application was different from theirs and how we could make our application even better. This also helped us make recommendations for ways to improve Spin a Story using best practices. Also, we performed a detailed evaluation of our system by analyzing it using Nielsen's 10 heuristics. As a team, we first conducted independent evaluations of the system. We then synthesized our findings and put together a list of items that were high-priority fixes. Lastly, we conducted usability tests with 5 users. Each user went through 10 tasks. We closely observed and monitored the activities of the users and came up with some solid findings and recommendations.
After using the application ourselves and talking with the client, it was clear that we have 3 types of users: professional writers, recreational writers, and active readers. These groups formed the basis of our personas. We drafted our survey questions in such a way that the results would give us the answer for the above question. The survey showed us that the recreational writers are the group that are most likely to be using Spin a Story. This is good because during our comparative analysis, we found out that one of our direct competitors is targeting only professional writers. Since Spin a Story is still in the development phase, it would be a good idea to target an untapped user group. We would recommend Spin a Story to target recreational writers. This group of writers would like to have more than 2 collaborators for a given story. They also liked the gamification idea and wanted to see more competitive aspect within the application. Talking about learnability, we had 10 tasks for our usability test. We found a trend that the users perform tasks 6 to 10 faster than tasks 1 to 5. This shows that the users get comfortable with the application as they use it. While certain elements are difficult to find, users will probably not have as much trouble as time goes on. The help section, tutorial for the application, ways to add a friend, use of filters, search for a particular type of story or search for a specific story, the reward system. Even though users may figure these out over time, there is certainly room to try to make the onboarding process as simple as possible. Recommendations would be: the help section should be more descriptive and easily accessible. The topics in the help section can be categorized more clearly, helping the user locate what he is looking for. There should be ways to go back to the tutorial that is displayed when the user first opens Spin a Story. The current search functionality just searches for titles of the story and displays results accordingly. The search should be made more inclusive. Apart from just searching the titles, it should also be able to identify genres and authors as well.
Our third finding relates to metaphor. During our heuristic evaluation, we found one particular nuisance heuristic metaphor that was especially important for Spin a Story. There are a couple of icons that can be misinterpreted. First, the send icon to add your sentence to the main story while writing a collaborative story. Second, the checkmark, which completes the story and gives the users an option to publish a story, was misinterpreted by our users as a submit button to end their term. Many of users either didn't notice the filter icon, or even if they noticed it, they did not think that this was a filter icon. Fourth, users could not find the pin icon. Our recommendations to solve the problems are: some icons can be replaced with words. Instead of having an icon for filter or publish, Spin Story can just use the word filter or upload, which will provide more clarity to the users. Second, replacing some of the ambiguous icons with a more straightforward icon would help. For example, the send icon within the collaborative writing story page looks like an upload sign. This can be replaced by text or a better icon that would reduce confusion. This also could be a good opportunity to use A/B testing. Third, during the usability test, the users told us that even though they saw the pin icon, they thought it was for something different because the pin icon appears like a bookmark. Therefore, they would have found out how to pin a story if pin is named as bookmark. Our first finding is about user control and freedom. There are some counterintuitive elements that make it hard for users to control the process of story writing. There are cases where the user expected the system to behave in a certain way, but the system did not react accordingly. When we asked our users to find a fiction story, they tried searching for fiction in the search bar on the popular page, thinking that it will show all fiction stories. The system did not do that, however, which led to confusion. Users also tried starting a collaborative story with a friend from the Friends profile page, but were not able to do so. Moreover, they also tried to read the stories listed on their Friends profile, but were not able to open them. Another major finding was that the Vote and Popular pages did almost the same thing, and the users got confused as to which tab should they be using. We found out that we can only pin a story on the Popular page, but we cannot pin it on the Vote page, nor when we are reading the story. Our recommendation for this finding from an information architect's perspective would be to merge the two pages and call it Read. Here the users can vote, pin, and read the stories. This provides users with all the functionalities in one place. If the user wants to read only popular stories, we can keep popular as a filter option, thus giving the user more freedom and control.
Most participants from interviews, surveys, and usability tests like the idea of collaborative writing. They believe it's a good way to improve creativity. However, there are still aspects that Spin Story should work on to improve the user experience. The top 3 functions that need to be improved are visual design, reward system, and more opportunities for interaction with other users. Users expected better visual design from our interviews and surveys. The present reward system goal paths only means an increasing number for users. The interactions among users only happen during their turn. We suggest to add an in-app chat box to facilitate discussions about the story between creators and collaborators. Also, we suggest making badges and a ranking system to encourage competition within Spin Story. Parts we can consider in the future. Some biases may negatively affect our finding. For example, the moderator may influence participants by his or her previous knowledge of the product. Also, the testing process is unnatural. For example, the writing process could be tested over a longer period of time using a diary study. This would allow us to understand the user's behaviors in a real-life context.